the Gym Crashers.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, man, and a lot going on in the MMA sphere, right?
There is a lot going on in the world, right? There's a
Yeah,
lot of
man.
buzz out there.
Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna get into that.
Yeah.
But nice to see you guys. You guys are awesome, and apparently, what you're seeing on screen is what we know about Dondo all along. He's his own ism, so
Got
that's
my
cool.
own ism.
Yeah, it's that needs to be a shirt. We
I
need
think
to-
it goes to, with all the little things that I say, they call that Dondoism.
Hey, they're big things, good sir.
Well, they
Big
are what they
things.
are.
Don't let anyone tell you any different, Skipper.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Pumpkin.
yeah, dude. Like, how you been?
I've been wonderful. How about yourself?
Not as wonderful as like the Everclear song, but I mean, I'm all right.
That's good. That's
I'm good.
I like
I'm
that
all right.
comparison.
Yeah, for sure. So, big news. We'll kind of get it right off
Are
the
we going to roll
table.
with the big stuff? We're going to roll with the small stuff. We're going to build up. We're going to wound up. What we're going to do?
Okay, let's. Well, you know
tell
what?
me.
Let's do
Well,
Sparstar
You ready to
later
do
because that's the one that we're going to be at
All
this
right.
Saturday at
this
Commerce
Saturday?
Casino.
Commerce Casino.
Yes, doors open at 7 and fights go on at 8.
Tony Padilla,
Fun times.
Mike
But,
Gross,
yeah, let's do that.
Ring Girls,
But the
tacos,
tacos. So the
gambling.
big news coming out of UFC
That's
London.
it. Yeah.
right?
This is big, man. London
Right.
got taken by storm.
Yeah, absolutely. Namely, Jorge Masvidal starching Darren Till. Crazy fight.
Right? It's the kind of knockout you feel in your bones, though. So in case you haven't seen this fight,
You need to. I mean, it's kind of cool because Masvidal is kind of going through a bit of a resurgence. I mean, he hasn't won a fight since 2017.
it's a long time.
So it's kind of amazing that he not amazing because I mean a fighter mindset is something most regular people can't understand, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and you're dealing with indelible
Not everybody can do it.
odds and what have you, right? And yeah, man, he knocked out a top 10 top flight guy in Darren Till.
You know what? And to set this up even further, he travels across the continents, across the pond. He ends up in London. It's Darren Till town.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? This is his own soil, only to get rocked, if only briefly, but he was rocked.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to come back and to, like Adam said, starched him.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and then obviously we'd be remiss not to talk about what happened after. Lauren Sanko was conducting an interview with Gamebred Masvidal, and apparently all I saw was Edwards, right? And I honestly thought. I was like, Yves Edwards? Who's he cornering in London or whatever? And this is a good fight. Yves Edwards versus Jorge Masvidal, right?
Sure.
And then I read down and I was like, Leon
Leon.
Edwards. It wasn't as exciting. Not, I mean, no disrespect to Mr. Leon Edwards.
Yeah, but it's not to be talked about during, someone's victorious
Yeah, absolutely.
accomplishment such
Yeah.
as this, taking over London. I'm not sure that Jorge Masvidal can walk the streets of London. He might get hung out to dry in Piccadilly Square if he's hanging out there right now. But you know what? He's the man.
Yeah, well, I mean, as most people who saw the interview with Ariel Hawani, he essentially was walking through, not walking, but riding through the Heathrow Airport because apparently at some point in the fight, one of his leg kicks hit Darren Till's elbow and it jacked his foot up pretty
Yeah.
good. But he said that the people loved him there, so that was cool.
That's
which
good
is-
because that doesn't happen when they go to Brazil.
oh yeah, I mean, as we know with Colby Covington,
Right.
as soon as he, hey, this is a shithole or whatever,
Yeah.
they literally ushered him not just out of the arena but out of the country, rightfully so. So
Absolutely.
that's some gall, not Mickey Gall, but
The other kind of gall.
definitely some gall to kind of shit on somebody in their home country. So it's not something I would recommend doing, but
I would think that it's among the top accomplishments of a man's life to lay someone out in their own country, especially when you're from so far away. But hey, who knows?
Yeah, and shout out to Lauren Sanko because I mean, you and I have done interviews, right?
Yeah.
So
A few.
how crazy and static those situations can be. There's fights going on, and we're kind of off to the corner doing interviews and what have you.
Yep.
And it's kind of rough, and you're getting these fighters, athletes, people in blistering highs, devastating lows.
Yeah.
And it's always a crazy situation. And then her interview gets interrupted by another fighter.
Yeah.
That's not fair. I mean, but
It's not the way it's supposed to go.
yeah, but I mean,
It's not pro wrestling.
okay, but which I'm gonna get to that.
Yes. We will segue into some pro wrestling news.
Absolutely, because apparently Travis Brown, former UFC heavyweight,
And Ronda Rousey, former
Right.
UFC champ.
right, absolutely. So apparently, Travis Brown is banned from Monday Night Raw. I don't know if this is an angle or
I don't know what to believe. I don't know what's hype. I don't know what's real. But it looked like he laid out a security guard. I only saw a face-off. I didn't see him lay the person out. But
Yeah,
and Ronda was talking like she was just about to do the same thing. So I would love to have seen that. So Travis, next time, just let her do her business.
yeah, and that's essentially Ronda Rousey made a brief statement on one of her social media sites that said that okay. Now, I mean, essentially, my husband, Travis Brown, is essentially the kimchi to my Kamala, right? Now you're going to see the inner beast now that he's not there, right? Which is weird. I mean, this is-
WWE doesn't owe me. WWE can't throw money at me. WWE can't tell me what to do. There's a whole line of WWE stuff right there, right?
Okay, you're right, exactly. But
But
all
man,
they
they
have
are
to do
giving
is-
you your bread and butter.
Yeah, all they got to do. Oh, I'm the baddest woman on the planet. Da 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 da. Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
Chris Cyborg, can you come please get your girl? Like, because I mean, I'm of the instance of course you're going to go with a era of suspension of disbelief,
Right.
But this is, I mean, gosh, Holly Holm knocked her out, right? Chris Cyborg, she literally went to the UFC so she wouldn't have to fight Chris Cyborg. And I mean, again, Amanda Nunes beat them both.
It's
Beat 'em
unbelievable.
both.
Unbelievable, right?
Right? Made them look like, I mean, chumps.
Schooled 'em.
Right? So, I mean, you can't go around claiming, I mean, Mike Tyson did that.
But it is WWE, so you can go around claiming because it just builds up that story, right? It builds up
Right.
your new character. So is that what we're looking at? Or are we looking at a fighter that's mouthing off at her new job?
But, okay, well, here's
I just don't know.
You don't know, but here's the other thing. So Ben Askren was in UFC London, right? And he had a Q&A, right? And
This is an interesting one. I'm glad you brought it up. So Ben Askren is there. We're going back to UFC London.
right, absolutely.
And tell me, is it going to be Askren Lawler Part 2?
I don't.
Is
think
it out
there's-
there?
I mean, do you really want to see that one?
I do.
Why?
I'd like to see Lawler. I love Lawler as well. I guess I'm a Lawler fan, so Lawler fans are going to feel that way, and everybody else not so much.
Okay, so my personal take. Do you believe? I mean, Robert Lawler is an incredible champion.
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to go any different? Because of course, there's the controversial stoppage that happened in their fight, right? But here's the catch-22, right? The same kind of thing happened with Michael Chiesa and Kevin Lee.
Yeah.
Was anybody really clamoring for another fight between those two?
I guess not. End of story. You
Yeah.
just put me down in the dirt.
No. I mean, if you want to see it, I hope it, happens
it may not
for
happen.
you and for everybody that wants to see that fight. But to me, I think it's a zero-sum game. What does Lawler get does beating Ben Askren put Lawler closer to the title? Does beating Lawler put Askren closer to the title? What does Askren have
Does
to
it
gain?
put butts in seats?
Right?
That's always the end of the game for me.
Absolutely. But here's the
Let's
thing.
fill the
So-
auditorium.
after the whole UFC London, there are more questions than answers, right?
I'm
This
sure.
was the quintessential MMA cliffhanger because here you've got Ben Askren, right? And
he's an anomaly in himself. He's a hell of
Right.
a wrestler, though.
so one was going to say, oh, you do what's it? You do Usman versus Colby Covington,
Yeah.
right? And then it's strange because Till getting knocked out left Askren almost without a dancing partner, right? Because
Yeah.
that was a fight to make. That's essentially the reason why Askren went to UFC London, right? And he actually mentioned in the Errol Houani interview that he conducted, which was, I guess he had been mic'd up, as like this like live commentary that the UFC likes to do, for like UFC fight pass and what have you. And he literally says like, "Hey, there goes my next fight."
Is it not Askren versus Masvidal now?
You can make an argument. You can definitely make an argument, but again, okay. So if you're Ben Askren, you've already beaten Lawler, who's placed higher, than
So it's all the
Masvidal.
ranking system.
So you're actually going down in terms of title trajectory, right? Now, in terms of money, right? Okay, so because of the knockout of Till, coupled with the kind of ballyhoo that was the Leon Edwards altercation, right? It seems like Masvidal is riding almost a meteoric rise that we haven't seen since Derek Lewis. My balls is hot, right?
My balls are hot.
Right. So more people know about Masvidal because of those two incidents than they probably did, him being on the undercard of Kimbo Slice fights back in Florida and all that stuff, right?
Masvidal was a backyard fighter.
Absolutely.
A lot of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So the thing about it is, okay, it has to do a really big buy rate, right? Hopefully, because really there's nothing for Askren. I mean, Masvidal's a tough dude, right? Masvidal is game bred, right? That's what his moniker kind of depicts, right? But he was never a champion in the division.
No.
Robbie Lawler was.
Absolutely.
You beat Robbie Lawler. What does Askren have to gain?
So it's not going to happen.
No. I mean, I don't see... It doesn't make sense when you play like MMA math, but obviously MMA math can be kind of faulted because, again, everybody's got a puncher's chance or a promotional, darling.
Oh, yeah.
Before, your skill level can get you into a title ranking position. So
Sure.
I don't know, but
I think you speak the truth.
yeah, I mean, to me, I don't think it makes sense. If I were Mick Maynard and Sean Shelby, I'm like, tepid at best, right? But again, if it does a good buy rate, I mean, best case scenario, Masvidal and Askren are headlining an ESPN Plus card, right?
Yep.
But did you see the money that was involved in terms of the pay window? Masvidal only got $15,000.
Yeah, that's not big dollars.
That's
not
not.
life-changing money.
Right.
That's not even a Hyundai.
No, not at all. So with that being said, again, does that fight really make sense?
Yep.
And are the fans really clamoring? If you're a diehard UFC, diehard MMA fan, are you praying to the MMA gods that be, oh my gosh, I want to see Askren Masvidal?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody is. I mean, let me know in the comment section below. This is an open discussion.
That's right.
This is the point according to Woods, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I just don't see it. There's a lot more exciting fights that are in that division. Better fights for Askren, better fights for Masvidal, and Masvidal and Covington sounds good.
Yeah, that does seem like an
Masvidal
exciting one.
versus Woodley sounds good.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of where I'm at, But again, we're talking pay-per-view numbers, right? So this seems like a pretty good jumping off point to the new UFC
You got it,
ESPN
man.
7-year deal. They were already signed for 5 years, right?
It's big news, man.
And another 2 years got tacked on, right?
7 years is a long time.
Absolutely. And then what's going on with the pay-per-views?
Pay-per-view is going to be exclusive and by subscription only, as I heard it by Adam Woods myself.
Yeah. So I don't understand it.
I think it probably blocks out a lot of those
third parties,
the third-party deals where they're getting a lot better deal.
right? But the catch-22 about that again, much like the Reebok deal, and Luke Thomas kind of brought it up. He had a little tidbit, but essentially, the fighters weren't consulted. The fighters weren't consulted with the Reebok deal. They weren't consulted with the Fox deal, and again with the ESPN, right? Now, one would argue that
Should they be? Should they be? Is it that? Is it their position in the business to be consulted with which direction the promotion goes?
Well, when Tyson Fury signed for ESPN, it was Tyson Fury. When UFC and Tyson Fury and whatever production team that he has behind him essentially reaps the rewards of that $100 million deal or whatever millions of dollars that it.
Okay.
You know, so but the thing about it is the UFC fighters who are selling the UFC. Okay, I understand. UFC is the brand. You want to sell the brand and whatever.
Yeah.
But okay, so people are going to clamor into arenas around the world to watch an empty octagon with no one fighting? No, it's the fighters that make it special. That make
But
it,
they have no voice.
right, absolutely. You know, and I think it's kind of awesome that we're seeing, you know, guys and gals going to a Bellator where they can retain sponsorships, going to a one
Well,
championship.
it's a life changer when you have a $15,000 fight that is wonderful and the world sees it, that you have sponsorship so you can actually survive and not live in someone's garage.
Right, absolutely. Which, I mean, Masvidal kind of detailed in the interview. He was just like, hey, you know, the money was nice, but it's all going to be gone. I've got kids. I've
It's
got bills.
spent before you get there if you
Right,
got kids.
absolutely. You know, and it's not NFL money. I mean, almost to kind of coin a phrase, when a NBA player or NFL player or MLB player will sign a huge or Premier Soccer or what have you, whatever the genre of mainstream sports, one player signs a deal, they're like, oh my gosh, so you're a football player, you're a whatever, you're a sports athlete, you get all this money.
Mike Trout just signed a $431 million deal today. $431 million. For a very long time. Probably the rest of his career. $431 to be with the Angels. That's not MMA, that's not anything, but we're talking contracts and athletes.
Okay.
$431 million for the rest of his career.
Wow. Good for that guy. He's a
Unbelievable.
fisherman?
What? Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
He's a fisherman for the Angels.
Oh, okay.
LeBron got $1 billion deal with Nike.
Okay. Yeah,
Right?
see? So that money
And
is
Jorge
gonna go for-
Masvidal had a killer knockout and got 15 G's.
Right, absolutely. 15
Like I said,
Gs.
that's not even a Hyundai.
Right, absolutely. So with that being said, right? So the pay-per-view bonuses, right, as it stands for the fighters, right? So what's going to become of the fighter percentage bonuses? You know, obviously if you're a lower tier
The pay
fighter,
needs to go up.
if
Come
you're-
on.
If you're on the undercard, you know, what have you, it doesn't affect you. If you're headlining a ESPN promoted show, probably not going to affect you. But if you are a Daniel Cormier, a Brock Lesnar, Conor McGregor,
Yeah.
the rarefied era of athletes, you know, our MMA version of the LeBron James.
Those are our superheroes.
Right, absolutely. What does that do for your pay scale? Like,
I like to know. I know they don't release a lot of that, but
No.
it'd be good to know.
well, Dean, I mean, as far as the commissions go, you know, you'll find out the Sunday after.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who got paid, who got fined, who got whatever. You know,
How do you get fined when you're not making anything? That's terrible.
the commissions.
That's
you
hurtful.
know? But I mean, it's not the commissions. It's not the commission's job to pay the fighters. It's the promotion,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So when you've got this monopoly in the UFC, right, and that's kind of what it is, because you're preventing people from making an income outside of this organization, right? You have to wear Reebok gear.
Was
You
the
have-
Reebok deal to streamline and make a more professional style event?
Not when the first fashion show that they have, when they're mispronouncing or misspelling, like, people's names.
Yeah.
Right?
Unbelievable.
I mean, they called Cub Swanson by his birth name, not Cub Swanson.
Yeah, that's not right.
Right. So does it really do more? I mean, does it do more harm than good at that point? Plus the social implications that, hey, you guys are literally taking food and money out of these people's pockets.
Yeah.
Um,
And they're killing themselves.
yeah, I mean, geez, here's the thing. Brian Callen, right?
Yeah.
Talking to Brendan Schaub. It's like, yeah, I would climb into your car and there would be $150,000 check for a sponsor right there. And there were just so many of them that you didn't have time to cash them. Like, whatever. You've had.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Versus $15,000 for that. I mean, that Masvidal knockout.
Yep.
and then there's the ensuing kind of Leon Edwards' debacle.
It was a
whatever,
melee
that
afterwards,
went viral.
right?
Both of those things went
So
viral.
that's a lot of coverage.
Right, absolutely. So, and $15,000 to show for it?
Yeah, yeah. That was a very cheap commercial.
Oh man, that's super egregious. I'm a advocate for guys and girls that are competing in the sports not to necessarily sign with the UFC.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do this for a living,
Maybe
there are
that's the
so many
future.
promotions that
That
you
pay.
can perceivably do it without the UFC's help. I think because again, the money that they're making off the ESPN deal, it's not going to be to the Jorge Masvidals. It's not going
No
to
way.
be to the Kamaru Usmans. It's not going to be to people like Roosevelt Roberts, right?
Right.
Who Dana White, in that big announcement, he was one of the ones that Dana White was like, I want to watch. He's the future of the sport.
I love
shout out
watching
to
him now.
Former CXF champion
Right?
Roosevelt Roberts.
He's
and,
a homie.
His compatriot down there in San Bernardino, one half of the greatest fight I've ever seen, Jalen Turner.
That's right.
Both UFC stars, right? But what does that mean for them, right? Does
Still-
that mean because UFC is getting all of that money that it's going to be trickled down to them?
No.
I don't think so. Historically,
His
it
life
hasn't
doesn't
shown true.
change. Yeah, not at all.
No, so I mean, it doesn't matter how many T-shirts.
What does it do for them as fighters? Now they're part of UFC, so they've got the foundation behind them. And, you
Right.
know, they can go to Vegas. They can have all kind of medical. They're looked after, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've got the Performance Institute. Another thing that a lot of people are kind of sleeping on, in the sense of they're building performance institutes. Not just, I mean, obviously the one in Vegas was built a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Right. They're doing one in China. They're doing one in Puerto Rico, which I thought was exciting.
That is
That's
really cool.
awesome. And Dana White was just like, this
Is
is going to
there-
help the sport.
It'll help it
overall,
grow.
because obviously you can come in here and train for free if you're a kid wanting to get off the streets, have your meals prepped and what have you. Train like a real athlete. And obviously, you're going to need some place to fight. So if you're a regional promoter in the area, obviously, you're getting this top flight talent that are getting
I think that's incredible.
right.
I wonder if the mainstream breed of kids is going to lean towards MMA in Puerto Rico, right? It's not a big place.
Well, you've got 6 and 10-year-olds now that
Ready
are
to go?
literally training on it.
Well,
you
you're
know?
growing up in it now.
Right,
There's no two ways.
absolutely.
There's a jiu-jitsu school on every corner.
Right,
It's
absolutely.
Starbucks.
So, I mean, I think it's great for the prosperity of it, but the catch-22 is I almost want to see what's going to happen to the first kid that, the UFC is clamoring to sign for
Yeah.
after they put, countless thousands of dollars, from
Been raised
6
in it.
to whatever, to 18, where they can actually fight.
Yeah.
Right? And what the UFC's response will be is if they sign to fight for Bellator or one championship
Sure.
or a CXF.
I guess it's possible. They can
Right?
put all that money and they can go in so many different
Right,
directions.
absolutely. So it now is that their own kind of performance center marred because that one person that was like,
They're Tiger Woods.
right, absolutely, they're Tiger Woods, their prodigy, in an instance, doesn't want to sign with the home team.
Yeah, it's
So-
possible.
We don't know how that's going to happen. So
15 G's goes a longer way in Puerto Rico.
definitely, absolutely. But the catch-22 is, again, so look at everything that Jorge Masvidal has gone through in his career to get 15 Gs.
yeah. Well, he's
15
been.
Gs seems
He went to war and back a few times, so it is what it is. Yeah.
When you've got wrestlers in WCW who would feign an injury, and because they were backed by Turner Broadcasting,
Yeah.
I mean they would, sit at home for $1 million.
Sure.
Right? So Jorge Masvidal, who gets put in real danger, got dropped by Darren Till, going into enemy territory,
He
and
was-
15 grand for his troubles.
The lights were out momentarily
Yeah.
and they came back on.
Right,
Only to put him out. That's unbelievable.
right. And then again with Till, right? Till got knocked out, right?
Yep.
There's traumatic brain injuries. And that's happening there.
Yep.
So Jorge won 15 grand. Darren Till, considerably less.
Yeah.
is that $7,500 going to cover his medical expenses?
Maybe not.
Probably not.
You
He's
know?
like he's in England where they have national health care, because otherwise, ooh,
Yep.
yeah.
I agree.
So,
No, it's quite a stretch to think
Yeah.
about how these athletes are going to continue to perform.
yeah, absolutely. So I mean, we're kind of advocates for fighters. You know?
I love it. I'm on the side of the fighter.
Right.
Absolutely. Just put it that way, short.
You know, we want everyone to do well in this.
Well, it's got to be lucrative. I mean, they're working their butts off. You don't just hop into a cage.
Right, absolutely. But the thing about it is, when 15 grand, does that pay off your trainers, your meal nutritionists, and what have you? Because obviously now you can't have them as your sponsor
Yeah.
for the meal prep or whatever.
You
So
can't-
now you got to pay out of pocket.
You certainly can't broadcast that you're even having them as partners. Maybe
Right.
they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart, but that doesn't do things for everybody else in
right,
the game.
absolutely. So again, even in that instance,
Cuts them
UFC
short.
wins.
Yeah, they win.
The UFC wins.
Well, they monopolize.
They've monopolized it.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's crazy because, again, a lot of people kind of like pro wrestling and MMA, they're not related. Okay. You look back to the National Wrestling Alliance, right?
Yeah.
It was a conglomerate of wrestling promoters that essentially worked together to recognize one governing body, right? But with one promoter, got pissed off at, oh, Dondo, I didn't like the way you did that, whatever. You're never working in my town. And not only are you not working in my town, but all of the other people in this organization, oh, you're not working in any of their territories either.
They got cut.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a monopolization.
It's the same thing
right?
going on.
So essentially, that's what we're having with the UFC.
Sure.
Right? Where they've got they're getting Reebok money. They're getting the Fox money previously.
Pay-per-view
the
money.
ESPN money. Right? Obviously, Fight TV was doing pay-per-views. So Fight money. They're getting the pay-per-view money pre-this.
It's a lot of money, dude.
And what is going to the actual fighters that are, I mean, the most crucial component of these fights getting sold?
Fighters
of
and
these
fans.
arenas getting filled.
You got fighters, you got fans.
Why are you wearing, if you have a UFC piece of apparel or souvenir or whatever, right? It says UFC. Why are you proud to wear that shirt?
Yeah.
Because you saw a Matt Hughes, a Chuck Liddell.
Back in the day.
You know?
But they got
or present day.
taken
Jalen
care of.
Turner, Roosevelt Roberts, John Jones, list goes, Daniel Cormier, list goes on and on.
Yeah.
Right?
forever.
And they're
It's going to grow.
right. So are we going to have almost a Tito and Chuck 3 type scenario where we'll have
man.
a Legends division of the UFC?
We'll see in
Because
Bellator.
They didn't, yeah, because unfortunately they didn't make enough during their prime earning year.
Yeah, they're still going to do
That
it.
they're still doing it. Is that what it's come down to, folks? I hope not. I mean, we wouldn't be doing this if it were,
You know?
but that,
We're happy to see the new ones come up.
yeah, man, it's kind of egregious.
It is.
Now, it was very vague. You know, obviously it was a 20-minute interview that Dana White had with Megan O'Leary, right? So, you know, they jumped around. You know, they talked about. Well, first off, I mean, there was a lot of kind of posturing.
Sure, sure.
Because the Dana White kind of slammed the media for, you know, saying that the UFC was going to die, was on its last legs. And it was kind of crazy because that was during the Fox tenure, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And all across the board, whether it be the Ultimate Fighter, whether it be other UFC, UFC,
Contender.
yeah, Contender series, whatever that was on Fox, from the time that relationship began to the time that it ended pre the ESPN move.
Yep.
Essentially, what happened was there was a decline across the board of viewership, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now it's
Back up.
back. I mean, like not just back up, but I mean it's back up in droves.
No, it's
right? There's
booming.
more people watching the sport now than ever before.
I can't escape it, man. Everywhere I go, I'm talking about it. So
Right.
it is what it is.
Absolutely.
Whether it's
Which
on
is
social
great.
media or the grocery store, you got people asking questions
Absolutely.
and forming opinions.
Which is great for the prosperity of the sport as a whole, right? But it means bumskis absolutely shit if the fighters that fight their hearts out are unable to profit. That's egregious.
Yeah, it's something that we witness daily, and it's something that's going to continue. I think.
You see it all the time in pro wrestling. So you've got people in office
Man,
positions.
yeah, they're
right?
doing it for $20
You've got
a
people
pop.
in office positions with guaranteed health care.
Yes.
You get injured, you're Fucksville.
You got to go home to your trailer that
But
you're
is that
renting a
not
room
what's
from.
happening?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Does anybody know about the medical
that-
condition of Darren Till after that hospital knockout?
That might be art imitating life, because that's real life too. That's every corporation in America.
Yeah. So, it's kind of the dirty little secret of what's going on, and it kind of sucks because obviously, I don't think there's a sport in recent history that has gone from literally a glorified infomercial for greasy challenges, right?
Sure.
In the early 90s, puts on a pay-per-view, and within 20 some odd years, get sold for $3.4 billion or $3.8 billion.
Originally-
and on ESPN that wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole.
Oh no, they want nothing to do with it.
Right.
Originally sold for $2 million by the
Right.
Gracie family.
Right.
$2 million
to the Fertitas and Zuffa, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
So quite an investment.
I don't think there. I don't think there's a better kind of Phoenix out of the ashes story.
Not at all.
Than the UFC and the sport of MMA as a whole. But again, it's the fighters that got you there. Dana White,
Fighters
yes,
and fans.
He's a polarizing figure in the world of MMA.
That's right.
But he definitely knows what he's doing, and if he doesn't know what he's doing, he definitely puts it on like he does. So
Yeah.
and the things, there's a reason why he stayed on after the Fertitas left, right? And he kind of detailed the relationship that with him and Ari Emanuel in
Yeah.
that interview with Megan O'Leary. So it's kind of cool to see that obviously an MMA guy still stayed on in an executive role with the organization.
Through Fox, now
Right.
with ESPN, and now continuing with ESPN.
Right, just the UFC.
Yep.
Again, he got a piece, not a large piece, but a piece of $3.8 billion.
That's it.
He doesn't have to do
A
fuck all.
percentage will just take care of you.
He doesn't have to. He much like McGregor. If you never saw them again, great, because they've got fuck off money.
Yep.
Like they can tell you to fuck off.
And they do.
Yeah.
And he does.
Why not? But he stayed on. So there's something to be said for that.
Yeah. He's got heart. He loves what he does, right?
Right.
He built the house he works in.
Mm.
He helped.
Oh, definitely helped. Definitely influential part. But if not for Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner,
Yeah. Not for
there'd
the
be no house.
sweat of the fighters. Absolutely. That's true.
Yeah, Matt Hughes. There'd be no house. So
So we'd like to hear about your opinions of the
So
new
chime in.
ESPN subscription required only for
yeah.
pay-per-view. So we're all going to have to be looking at that
That's
very
some
soon.
Big Brother fucking
It's a
we're
big deal,
gonna
right?
sign up for our shit if you want to pay us more money
That's right.
to watch the very sport that you love.
Have they mentioned price on that? Is it going up?
They got, if you're a new subscriber, they take off $10 off of your normal pay-per-view. But again, they to sign up, they've got your information.
Oh yeah. Immediately.
Yeah. So that you have to do that plus pay another $60 to $80.
That's what I was going to say. If
Watch.
it goes up to $80 a fight, my
Yeah, exactly. So but it's cool because obviously the future of the way that we consume entertainment is via streaming, right? So the fact
It's
that
all we do now.
Right, absolutely. So the fact that this emerging technology of the last 5 to 10 years has literally anchored itself in the sport of combat sports.
Absolutely.
With the Zone,
Yep.
with UFC Fight Pass, with WWE Network, with a fight. There's so many, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
That's how we get our
So
info.
the fact that it's, anchored itself in combat sports, that's really fucking cool considering 25 years ago, nobody would have fucking touched it with a 10-foot pole.
No,
So-
it was backyard fights with no rules. That's how they perceived it.
That's it.
Smokers.
What was it when New York was going to legalize, MMA? This recent turn of events, we had a
Not
gay
even a year and a half
senator
ago.
in upstate New York, and it's men's with their shirt off and beating each other and rolling around and whatever, which is kind of weird to see because he was trouncing on like people that are gay, and he's gay himself, and I just whatever. But that misconception,
That was a strange
hopefully,
take on it. Absolutely.
with things like this,
Yes.
get shattered, right?
Yes.
And we see the
It
beauty.
does
of the
have its
sport.
roots in Roman Greco, though, so you know what came from that.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
We don't need to go there.
Right. but the thing about it is, we are in a better place.
Yeah.
But the fighters also deserve.
They sure do. And that helps us kind of move into what we're going to talk about next, which is the best amateur fights you could find in Los Angeles, California.
That would be Sparstar MMA.
Spar Star MMA.
Absolutely. Run by the great Tony Padilla.
T-Bone Steaks.
Absolutely. Michael Gross,
Yes.
Mr. Dominance and Prominence.
Dominance
worked in
and
the front
Prominence,
office.
yep.
Rick Hollywood.
Rick Hollywood,
Yeah.
my homeboy.
Mark Nieves,
Yep.
Gilbert. I mean, the whole crew. Fucking phenomenal people.
Right.
Carlo Figueroa.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
It's a. I
The
mean,
names
it's a
keep
cool
falling
deal.
out.
Yeah, cool deal. And we will be there at Commerce Casino.
Commerce, in the city of Commerce.
Oh, this Saturday. This Saturday, not next Saturday. This
Got
Saturday.
about 3.5 days and we'll be there.
Yeah, 3.5.
7 p.m.
It's all half unless it's whole.
Woods and I will be doing interviews. Stop by and see us. We like to talk to the fans, we like to talk to the fighters, we like to talk to everybody.
We like talking, apparently.
Well, we do our thing.
I guess. Yeah, man. But there's some crazy fights.
Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring up that fight card.
Yeah, man.
Got guys out of CSW. Got guys out of Saxon.
Yeah. Geez, Team Quest.
Team Quest.
It's like the who's who
I'm
of
sure it's
Southern
stacked.
California gyms.
Yep.
Defiant MMA. So essentially running down the card, right?
You know what I love about this segment? This is really a who's who in L.A., San Bernardino, Riverside, San Diego, Orange County, Southern California fighters. These are our hometown heroes.
Damn right, and the best part about it, if you are a patron, these are superheroes, these fucking super athletes
Next
that you
year.
can get up close and personal to.
Yep.
be
Next year you might see them in
respectful, folks.
UFC. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's a good time. It's a good time at Commerce Casino.
A hell of a
we
time.
encourage you, if it's not already sold out already, we encourage you to make plans to be at Commerce Casino this Saturday night for Sparstar MMA. But yeah, so here's some fights that they're all going to be great fights.
Give me the eye catchers.
Geez Louise, there's like 18 fights on the card, right? Permitted. No, we never know until fight day, right? Because it's same day weigh-ins, right? With CAMO, the California Amateur Mixed Martial Arts Organization. But with that being said, hopefully you pray to your MMA gods that we're going to get a solid show. All 18 fights show up. All 36 fighters.
If they dropped a few, it's still a packed house.
Yeah,
it's still a
fuck yeah.
party. It's
Absolutely.
still good times.
Yeah, so here's some that I want to highlight. Obviously, they're all going to be awesome, but you've got, holy shit, Mauro Gutierrez from Fight Strong MMA against the Arena. Chris Liebens, the Arena.
Chris
down
Liebens
in San
Arena,
Diego.
yep,
Enrique
SD.
Marte.
Unbelievable.
That is going to be fucking bananas,
Yep.
folks. I mean,
I like that we know where they're from because it turns into like a little bit of a dojo war.
yeah, well,
You know?
but you definitely will see that you've got the best,
The top talent, right?
and it's not just here in Southern California, because as we know with Team Quest guys, they fight a lot at Tough Enough in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, they're all over.
They're going all over the place, right? They'll test their mettle in other states, sometimes even fights in Mexico and
Yeah,
whatever, and
yeah.
then come back and
Oh,
just
yeah.
like,
If they fight in Combate, it could be here, could be Mexico, could be Peru.
Right.
They're heading over to Spain.
and even just even doing a spoker, when you're there as a part of the team or entourage of somebody that's fighting
Sure.
on a Combate card, you're gonna get some rounds in.
I love that.
And come back better, knowing what you now know that you didn't know before. So that's awesome, right?
Who else we got?
We got Caden White fighting out of Dan Henderson's Team Quest, who is 3-2 against Jordan Zaduria. Hopefully I got that right.
That sounds good.
Saxon's Muay Thai.
Right. Saxon produces a lot of fighters, man.
Yeah,
You can't go anywhere without seeing one of their fighters.
No, and they roll deep. Julio Trana, for a time, had a bus.
They still have it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
They're-
they've got a bus.
They're
that they
rolling
get
in
to
a
shuttle.
wrapped bus with
Yeah, absolutely.
their
That
team
they
name
shuttle
on it.
all the fighters and coaches and teammates and whatever, and they roll deep.
Yep.
And so, damn, dude, Team Quest versus Saxon Muay Thai. That in itself is amazing. And Jordan is 3-0. So this is, I mean, these are tenured veterans on the amateur scene,
Yep.
you know. So they're gonna come out to show out, man, and it's gonna be a crazy, crazy night. Then you've got one of the Camo State title fights. You've got Johnny Ferris representing Sityodtong LA versus Gregory Meltor out of Subfighter. And obviously there's two, so I'm not sure which one.
I know them both. We've seen them both fight.
Yes.
Right? We just saw Ferris off a win.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean he won at the last Star, and then he also won after that.
Yeah.
In Belize for
MMA
Advanced
events.
Inc.
Yep.
So there's obviously iron that got sharpened during that tenure. You know,
Yep.
being in a different crowd in a foreign territory.
A tropical environment.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going to come bringing a lot of that stuff that he employed there
Yep.
right to the Sparks Arcade. So
Yep.
that's going to be
The
incredible.
Sityodtong guys are, all over too. Again, I can't go anywhere without seeing them, so we know they're active.
Damn right. And then you've got Zach Krasinski out of Bas Ruten's Elite MMA, a training partner of Ryan the Lion Lilly.
That's right.
And he's going against Andrew Freelove, again, out of Fighter MMA. Seen both of those guys fight.
It's Subfighter MMA, man.
Incredible, man.
Yep.
So incredible, these guys.
Yep. The guys at Subfighter MMA, Gabe Green, Tracy Hess,
Adam Lynn.
Adam Lynn. Yeah,
Yeah,
those
damn right.
guys, man. That's all the same kind of guys, man. There's two different Subfighters, but those guys are savages.
Savages, right? And we continue with the savagery when we get into the current bantamweight California State champion in Gilbert Nakatani going against
Nakatani, who's he going up against?
Rick Zaleda out of Saxon's Muay Thai.
Another Saxon guy.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a crowd favorite.
I mean, and that over the last 2 years, these are two gentlemen that, like a lot of guys in this card, that we've been able to, over the course of the last couple of years,
We get to
seen
know
them grow and flourish.
That's right.
Into it. So I guarantee you, in Gilbert and Rick Zaleda, man, you're going to see two grizzled
level.
young vets.
It's high level martial arts, man.
And again,
They're emerging.
Sityodtong, this is like two standard, not standard, but like elite level.
Absolutely.
Muay
They're the
Thai
cream of the
gyms
crop, man.
In Sityodtong
Oh, yeah.
and Saxons, right?
In LA, that's what you got.
Right. So, and Gilbert is getting rounds with Johnny Ferris. He's getting rounds with, obviously,
They're mixing
Richard
it
Leroy.
up. Yeah, Richard Leroy,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
Heavy hitter.
I mean, there's so many. Jared, who just fought in Burbank.
Mm-hmm.
So world-class Muay Thai. Then they've got Antonio Castillo, who's their jiu-jitsu coach. And obviously, all of the guys in the
Mixing
game
it up.
are like so high level, right? Because of that. Then, again, you've got Saxon on the other side, right? Julio Trana, right? One of the greatest unsung coaches, the man behind an Alan Joban.
That's a nice way to put it. It really is a compliment to Trana, and he really does have a great team.
Yeah, absolutely. The almost kind of the Genghis Khan.
Oh, yeah.
Behind
Taking over the world, slow.
Yeah, what's it? Tanil Tiller, right?
Tanil Tiller.
Right. We've got Alan Joban.
Joban.
Yeah, we've got Casey Green.
Yep.
Those folks, those are names.
Some big names.
Those are names. Julio Trana's around them. I mean, heck, it even goes into pro wrestling with Michelle Blanchard, a.k.a. Dagger.
That's amazing.
Wow. She's getting rounds there, too. I mean, top flight Muay Thai.
Yep.
Top flight Jiu-Jitsu. And again, the Jiu-Jitsu at Saxon, much like at Sityodtong, really high level. Yes, don't be fooled. Oh, it says Muay Thai on the marquee. They're getting
It says
some
jiu-jitsu on our
rounds.
building, too, and we get
Yeah.
some Muay Thai rounds here, so
See?
absolutely.
So, I mean, again, you're going to get the best product of their careers thus far this Saturday night at Commerce Casino. And you're not going to want to miss it.
Stop by and
We're
see
not
the
gonna
Gym
miss it.
Crashers. We want to talk to you.
Yeah, damn right we do. Damn right. So, yeah, I think is that show?
It's getting
What do
damn
we got?
close to it. No, you know what? We got other things to talk about
Okay,
before we
what
wrap
you got?
this up. I'm thinking about things in the future. We're looking at another CXF in another month. What else have we got going on? Because we want to hit some events.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we've got the big Bellator show, the Bellator show at Pachunga.
Yep.
On the 29th.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
I know you
Yeah,
put in for that. I put in for that. Tomorrow, if you're in the area of Anaheim, the Violent Gentlemen Jiu-Jitsu Club, they are having an open house. I'm going to be there. They start at 3. I think they end around 6 or 7. Mr. Woods, Mr. Simerson, I don't know if you guys want to shoot down with me and film a little bit, talk to those guys. I'm always interested. It's a hockey club, but they're doing jiu-jitsu now, Violent Gentlemen.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. I've seen the brand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm in. I'm down for that. So those of you that are watching, check
There
us
you go.
out. We're going to be over there promoting them.
And unfortunately, because of the crashing of the Book of Faces last week.
Yeah, that actually took down the gram as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to get Shane Crutchin, the War Rhino, who steps into the Bellator cage against Daniel Strauss. But Thursday at 11:30, you're here first on Facebook Live on According to Woods. We're gonna have the War Rhino one-on-one.
See, we got stuff. I told you we got
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
We were about to
So,
wrap, but we got stuff.
Yeah, damn right. So 11:30 on Thursday morning. Thursday 11:30 Pacific Standard Time.
Yep.
So it might be a little bit different than where you live, but I digress. Shane Crutchin, who again just said that he is going to put Daniel Strauss in retirement in a
Unbelievable.
recent interview. So he's training with, actually he's rooming with the gentleman you know, Mr. Henry O.K. Corrales.
Whoa.
Down there in Arizona, training out of the lab.
Nothing okay about him. He's Henry K.O. Corrales.
Okay.
Knockout
that.
talent.
Okay. Damn right. Yeah, I mean, he showed it at the Las Bellator, right?
He's shown it before.
So, yeah, so we're gonna talk to Shane and see what prompted his change to Eddie Chaw's camp at the MMA lab in Arizona, what he's been up to, and I mean obviously it's been a while since we saw him last in the Bellator cage, and last it was the loss to Aaron Pico.
Yes.
So he went through a bit of a hard time, so we're gonna kind of get into that.
That's
And,
a good thing. I want to
yeah,
hear about that.
absolutely, and. Obviously, when he's making claims about putting Daniel Strauss into retirement, a former two-time Bellator champion, Shane Crutchin meets his
That's
business.
right.
So,
That's right.
We're gonna get inside the mind of the War Rhino.
That's right.
And working on so that would be the co-main event for the.
It's a huge
Bellator
one, right?
card,
Can't wait
right?
to see that.
And working on Saad Awad, the main event.
I hear that
one
too.
half of the main event. We're gonna talk to him, and then it was just announced that. Joe
Iaquinta.
Schilling.
Oh, I heard about Iaquinta and Donald Cerrone.
Oh, so I guess the Conor McGregor deal isn't happening.
Yep, that's Iaquinta, Donald Cerrone. That's coming up. We're all going to be watching that. Can't wait for the results.
Damn right. What you got?
One more quick, another event, April 28th, California Cage Wars.
Cage Wars.
Heavyweight fighter Tommy Ferguson.
Tommy Ferguson.
Yeah,
Tommy, the Hawaiian Ferguson. Tommy, the Southpaw Ferguson. Cage Wars, Valley Center. Going to be fighting
California, yeah.
heavyweight.
Oh, and we've got the OC Fight Club, Roy Engelbright's promotion.
Right.
April 9th. Lady Killface, Natalie Morgan, is making her MMA debut.
I wanna see that, too. Let's make sure we both get to that.
Yeah,
It's at the
absolutely.
hangar? It's usually at the hangar.
It's at the hangar.
We gotta get out to that.
I believe Mike Segura may be on this
I
one.
think Mike Segura is on that card.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great night of fights.
Yep.
So April 9th, right here in the OC. So
That's
let's
it.
do that. We're going to see us there.
That's right. And quick shout out to Brian Mendez and the guys at San Pedro Fight Club. They invited us down for a big event on March 30th, so you're welcome to come.
Okay.
It's a Saturday morning.
Okay.
I'm going to head down, so I'm going to check those guys
There
out.
we go. And speaking of people named Ferguson, we're going to show some love to the former UFC interim champion, Tony El Cucuy.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even touch that. It's
who's,
such a big deal,
going
right?
through a bit of a mental ordeal.
CTE, is that what it is?
Right, absolutely. So, I mean, unfortunately,
It catches up,
fortunately,
man.
There aren't anything by way of domestic violence issues happening because those are kind of what we hear
They're a
in this
symptom.
day and age when it comes to
And
restraining
a problem,
orders.
yeah. Yeah.
But that isn't the case. It was just erratic behavior that kind of caused concern from his wife, and in protection of the family,
Smart.
That's what happened.
That's preventive maintenance. I
So
like that.
We're not going to basically put an opinion. We're
No,
just gonna
no,
shoot
no,
some
no,
love
no.
out to
That's
the Ferguson
right.
family.
Fix
Obviously,
it.
Tony is a staple and has been a staple of LA mixed martial arts. I mean, at the 10 Planet party a couple of years back, he
That's
let
for
me
sure.
hold the belt, man.
I love
And,
that.
Yeah, and so just he's an incredible guy. That actually happened the same night as Conor McGregor jumping the cage at Bellator in Ireland. So
Unbelievable.
I literally got to hear Tony's take on it that night.
That's
you
good
know?
stuff.
So Tony's a great guy, as a lot of people here in combat sports. Our community that we have.
Those
here.
are our people, man.
Right, absolutely. So we're
Shout
just
out to
shooting
everybody that hangs
love
out with
to
us.
Tony Ferguson and his family, and whatever help that is needed, hopefully we can get that to him and literally smother the Ferguson family
Yep.
in love, because that's what they need right now.
Yep.
And obviously, it's quick to jump on the bandwagon and tear people down, but this isn't an instance to do that. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
We're just gonna smother them, and then obviously we're smothering them in love, but we're respecting their privacy. So if you guys see him in the street or whatever, don't go like, "Hey, you're the guy with the mental illness." No. We're not doing that. Just, hey, I hope you're all right, champ.
That's right. So
That's what we're doing.
we're the Gym Crashers. Catch us every Tuesday, 8 p.m. YouTube, Facebook Live. Again, I'll be out at Violent Gentlemen tomorrow in Anaheim at around 3 or 4 o'clock, and then Ribeiro Jiu-Jitsu San Pedro Fight Club March 30th.
March 30th,
This weekend, Saturday, we will be at Sparstar MMA.
right there at Commerce Casino, right off the 5.
Yep, and that's just in the next week and a half that we're going to be busy. So
Damn right.
things are coming. We'll
We're
keep you
crashing
posted.
shit, folks.
We do
That's
some
what we're
crashing.
doing.
He physically crashes. I just go out and crash.
Yeah, because I'm portly. I'm fucking portly.
No, it's because cars hit him and almost kill him.
No shit. No fucking shit, Dondo.
Just letting you know.
So again, thank you for joining us on the Tube of Views and the Book of Faces. And we will see you next week. We out this bitch.
We out.